All right, gang. In studio with us from Habitat for Humanity, my main man, Pete Christopher, doing some special things in the community. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning.
Clue the listening audience into who you are, what you do, and why you matter. Because I know why you matter, and maybe the wife you married knows why you matter, but I want everybody else to know.
So Habitat for Humanity, we build low-income housing in partnership with families here locally. And we actually operate all over the world, but we cover Cass and Clay County.
That's like a hidden movement of a sort, isn't it, Pete? Like, I think that people hear the Habitat name every once in a while, but they're not understanding the intense good that you're doing.
Right. What most people think is that we're giving away homes too, and that's absolutely not the case. Our families partner with us; they help us build the homes, and they repay the cost of the construction.
Okay, let's slow that down because I think that it's important that people know that Habitat for Humanity is not the Oprah Winfrey of houses, right?
Right.
You're not just dishing them out to everybody and everybody gets a house.
Yep.
You said that the families, they finance part of it, right?
So we go out and fundraise initially to build the homes, and then our families take on the mortgage. They purchase them from us and repay their cost of the construction back to us, which helps us build future homes.
Right. So it's not for free, but it's to give somebody a leg up and a helping hand, right?
Right.
But they're involved in the construction process too.
Absolutely. They have to put in more than 250 hours of sweat equity per adult. And that's either building on their house or our other Habitat homes we're building that year or working in our restore, all sorts of different ways.
So they could be on site, they could be helping behind the scenes, but 250 hours per adult.
Yes.
My quick math tells me that that's over 6 weeks of work that they have to do.
Yep. Yeah, they put in a lot of time. Lots of time.
So this isn't just a freebie.
No, not at all.
But who qualifies as somebody who would get a Habitat house?
So the families that we're looking for are people that are making anywhere from 50 to 80% of the median income.
Okay. And what's the median income right now?
Oh boy, it's all based on the size of their family. Okay. So it can be anywhere from the high 20s to low 50s, depending on the size of their family. So I don't remember the actual median off the top of my head right now, but the families we're looking for are, they're working, they're hardworking people. They just need a hand up in life. So they might be living in a rental situation that's unhealthy or unsafe or unaffordable, and we're just trying to help them improve their life.
How many families do you guys help each year?
So on average, we do 2 to 4 families, 2 to 4 homes. Now we get applications from about 50 a year. And give you an idea, this year, our family selection committee came back to us and said, hey, there's 15 of these families that we would 100% be confident in building for. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's over 13,000 households in Cass and Clay County that are paying more than 50% of their income on housing right now. So it's a pretty huge deal, and we're just working with one family at a time.
There are 13,000 families and 13,000 households that are paying over half of their entire income towards rent.
Yep.
That is painful.
Yep. And those families are making the tough decision between, putting food on the table or, getting medicine for their family, putting, backpacks on their kids' backs for school. Mm-hmm. All those things are affected when you have an unaffordable home.
But these are people who are working, right?
Absolutely.
These aren't folks who are sitting around trying to live off of somebody else's hard-earned money, right? These are people who are grinding themselves.
Yep, they have to be. They have to fit in with certain income guidelines in order for us to know that they'll be able to repay the cost of their home.
Huh. Those of you tuning in, we have Pete Christopher of Habitat for Humanity in the studio with us, and we're talking about the Habitat program and the builds that you do. Pete, there's a special build going on right now that is obviously personal to myself and other realtors in the area. Tell us about that.
So we partnered with the Realtor Association and all the wonderful realtors here in town to help build a home. Mm-hmm. We've done this before. It's been 10 years since we did our last Realtor build, so we're excited to partner again. And obviously everybody that's a realtor knows the importance of having a decent house, a decent place to live. So it's a great partnership.
And has the family already been chosen?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
We select all of our families in February. Okay. So this year we're building 3 homes, all single moms, which is about more than half of our homes have been for single moms. And for the realtor build, it's a young lady by the name of Audrey, and it's her and her 4 kids.
Oh my gosh.
Great, hardworking mom. She lives in a mobile home right now that she's been, going on YouTube and all sorts of different things to figure out how to fix her home up and keep it livable. But it's just spiraling, and one thing after the next. She'll get one thing fixed up, and then another thing will break. And so we're excited to get her into a new home.
Amazing story there, and great good that you're doing. I have to tell you, Pete, I grew up in a house with a single mother, and I grew up in a trailer home for some time, and then we moved to a very fancy apartment, and from there, I watched the sacrifice that my mom made, and I watched the way in which she poured into myself and my sister to do everything. You guys are helping a hero out right now with that mom of Audrey, and the way in which she's fighting to take care of her kids, the way in which she is pouring into her family, and of course working full time as well. Right, that's got to be tough for her.
Yep. And again, she puts in 250 hours of sweat equity, just like everybody else, and most of them go above and beyond that. You know, we worked with a single mom a few years ago that ended up doing over 500 hours of sweat equity.
Oh my gosh. Pete, for people who are unfamiliar with Habitat, what do we need to know? Because my guess is it's one of those organizations that's always in need, and yet maybe doesn't have enough advocates. So what do we need to know about Habitat for Humanity?
Advocates is a huge thing. Just going out and speaking on our behalf, or, you know, if someone says, hey, those Habitat people are getting a free home, you know, if you can correct them, that's great. Again, it's not a free home. We do need cash to build homes. It costs us about $140,000 to build each home, and we use volunteer labor to do that mostly. I mean, we hire electricians and plumbers and things like that, but we use 275 volunteers per build over 25 days, and these are people that are, you know, bankers and lawyers and, you know, office workers. You don't have to have any experience to come and help us build, and it's a great experience because you're building something tangible that, you know, 30 years from now you'll be able to drive by and say, hey, I helped put those windows in that house. Right.
I appreciate that, and I think that what you just said is so imperative. Like, I've helped on 2 different Habitat builds in different communities as I travel to do mission work. But I am not a skilled laborer, Pete. I am just a pretty face without the pretty face. And so there is a massive amount of help that's needed where you don't have to be skilled. You don't have to be a tradesman. You don't have to even know how to swing a hammer well, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done on site.
And the other thing too is if you're a good cook, you like making food. We feed all of our volunteers every day, so we need people to come and help feed our families. They can work on committees. They can help us do fundraising. They can do all sorts of different things on our behalf.
Well, this realtor build that you're doing, and we'll wrap with this here, Pete. You said it takes about $140,000, and we're at $60,000 for money raised, right? Who's going to fund this? Is this anybody, or is it just realtors?
No, it's anybody. We've got individuals that'll fund it. You know, at any dollar amount. We've got corporations that'll come in and help us fund those things, and then with the realtors. And the cool thing about Habitat, with our proceeds from our restore and the mortgage payments that we collect from past families, that will cover our operating costs. So if you mail me $1,000 check today, $1,000 will go in towards that build, and we can make it go towards the realtor build, or our Fargo build, or our Delaware build, whatever you prefer.
Well, I hope the folks listening right now want to mail you that check or get you their credit card information, or come and swing a hammer and help out. So how do they get in touch with you, Pete?
So they can either call me at 218-284-5253, or go onto our website, lakeagassihabitat.org.
There it is, lakeagassihabitat.org, friends. Pete, thanks so very much for doing good in the community. Folks, head to livefargomoorhead.com during the break and find out what your home is worth. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.